We're going live. What is up, guys? My name is the Snyder, and welcome back to the channel. This is another live discussion, and today I have my good friend InvisoTron, aka Daniel. Say hello, Dan. Well, his mic is off. Okay, well that is fantastic. So today,
Okay, there we go.
Oh, there he is. Say hi, Dan.
Hello, everybody.
So today we're going to be talking about the Snyder Cut, and maybe today we might be talking about Batwoman a little bit, because I know we were supposed to talk about it yesterday, so hey, we can talk about it a little bit today, but it's primarily going to be the Snyder Cut. But first, where can they find you, Dan? Oh, Ninjoid, the comment. Hello there. What's up, Ninjoid? Ninjoid, I sent you a friend request on Facebook, so you can, just want to let you know that. Dan is currently silenced right now. You can find me, so while he's silenced, you guys can find me on Twitter at theaustinator17. You guys, I got another Facebook account, so you guys can find me there as well. You guys can find me at Austin Blair on Facebook, so you can friend me there. You guys can find me on YouTube at The Austinator. I am close to hitting 30 subscribers. We are at 26. We have 4 more subscribers until we hit the 30 subscriber mark. So if you guys can subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment after the video. So just do that. We got a couple of comments. Oh boy, here we go. Kavari and Monster have a feud. Just want to let you know, Dan, that they have a feud. Monster Paradise, stop your hate. You don't know that yet. Yeah, guys, just be open-minded, okay? Just please. I saw. All right, Ninja. I just wanted to let you know in case you didn't get it. Oh, also, Ninja, I sent a friend request to Adam. So you guys, so I just want to let you know that as well. But today on the live discussion, we are going to be talking about the Snyder Cut. Now, before we get into the Snyder Cut, Dan, I would like to ask you something. Dan, are you there? Okay, so I guess he's silenced again. So, I was going to ask if he watched the theatrical cut of Justice League, Kavari coming in again. According to new rumors, Snyder Cut will cost up to $60 million. I hope it, I mean, hey, Zack Snyder is going to approve everything with that $60 million. I think, Kavari, so let's hope that he does. So I was going to ask Dan if he saw the theatrical cut of Justice League, and let me tell you, I did not like Justice League. Now, it is not the worst movie ever made, but it is by far, I would say it's more unfinished in a sense. And I hope that the Snyder Cut actually does things better than the theatrical cut, because I did not like it was just bad. I wouldn't say it was good, it was just bad. Hang on, let's see if Dan... so Dan's fixing his mic. If you guys want to send comments here, I will definitely do that while I'm waiting for Dan. Because I also want to ask Dan what he feels about Ruby Rose leaving Batwoman. And let me tell you, I think I know the answer to this, but it's gonna be a fun time if he can get his mic working. So yeah, the Snyder Cut. So the Snyder Cut got confirmed yesterday by Zack Snyder and WB themselves. and they said that it will be a exclusive to HBO Max, which is going to make me buy a HBO Max account because I really like. Well, actually, no, they have some okay things going on. But we got EJ coming on. Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm doing very good, EJ. How are you doing, man? Um, we are currently talking about the Snyder Cut. Guys, I know I'm a little late with this, but I wanted to do it with Dan, so and he's not. I don't know what's going on there, so I'm basically by myself right now. I gotta take a swig of water there. Uh, excuse me. So this whole Snyder Cut, I'm actually really excited for because it feels like it kind of wraps up the Man of Steel. I would say the Justice League trilogy, I guess if you could say that, because you got Man of Steel, BVS, and then you have Justice League, which I consider like 3 films in like a trilogy because they all like involve Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, all those guys. So it does. I want to see how Zack Snyder really wanted to do it, and if it's true, the cast. There's some cast members who want to do reshoots for it, like Henry Cavill and uh, Jason Momoa, because I believe Jason Momoa, I think, is still under contract. I think out of everybody, so I mean, it would be cool to see how they do with the reshoots. Oh, I 100% believe that the budget for this version of Justice League is going to be way more than $30 million. My prediction is that it's going to be $79 million. I think it might be because they have to reshoot a lot of stuff, and then they have to redo the CGI, and hopefully they fix the CGI on Henry Cavill's face because the CGI on that was terrible. It was bad. Like, I have the theatrical cut, and I went, oh, that looks bad. Looked really, really bad. Hang on. I'm just gonna before I continue, guys. I want to make sure. I want to see what Dan. All right, Dan muted his mic. Did that fix anything, Dan? Because the Snyder Cut doesn't even have visual effects done yet, let alone started or even post production. Yeah, because I believe that when Snyder was doing his stuff, he had to leave. I think because Snyder left the project before he could even do any of that. So it will be interesting to see how Zack Snyder does it because usually Zack Snyder, whenever he does his movies, yeah, Zack Snyder is a little overrated, but he knows how to make his movies look good, and that's one of the things that I like about Zack Snyder more than Michael Bay because his movies are visually stunning. Like take Watchmen for example, it was a very very good movie. Like 300, very very stunning movie. I still think 300 is a good movie. It's not the best movie, but it was okay. Kavar says, why? The movie did not entirely finish the post-production phase with the Snyder Cut. If you're talking about the Snyder Cut in terms of the post-production, I mean, I'm not really surprised that it's not finished, but at the same time, I would really love to see a movie like this, done in a way where. Oh wait, hang on, EJ. The anticipation that the fans have had for this version is like through the roof. So I guarantee you that the budget will be a lot higher because the movie is really that unfinished. If the effects aren't that finished, then I do believe that it'll be more than the money that they will. Dawn of the Dead by Zack Snyder was phenomenal and badass. Yeah, Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead was very, very good. I'm not a big fan of zombie movies, so it's not really my thing. But I will say that Dawn of the Dead by Zack Snyder was very, very good. The acting was phenomenal in that, and I also enjoyed and I just love the visuals as well. It looked very good. It looked gross, which is what you expect from a zombie movie. So, absolutely love that. Reshoot will be a definite yes. I mean, more than likely, I would really like to see a more serious Flash. because the Flash in Justice League was god awful. Like, let me tell you, god awful. He's not interesting. I found him to be too annoying, and in fact, I hate his costume in that movie. In fact, I prefer the CW. If the CW can do a costume better than a Hollywood movie, that's a problem. 4 hours. I'm excited. I am very excited too because Watchmen, I believe, was longer than. Well, I wouldn't say longer than 4 hours, but it's very long. Dan said he's gonna leave and rejoin. Okay, that's fine. So Watchmen, I believe, is also very long, and like I said, Zack Snyder knows how to do very long movies. So I would very much look forward to this because Justice League was a very big disappointment, and I think this will get me to buy a HBO Max account. All right, Dan, can you hear me here?
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me finally?
Yes, I can finally hear you.
Oh my god, I don't know what the heck was going on.
All right, so now we can finally get into the live discussion. Dan, I would like to ask first, how are you doing?
You know, I'm not doing too bad. This quarantine's getting a little long, but we're living.
Feel you there. Where can they find you, Dan, in terms of social media?
You guys can find me. I have a gaming page on Instagram at InvisoTron.r6. I can leave it in the comments if you guys want to go and check it out. It's a weird name. I actually can't leave it in the comments. Never mind. But it is InvisoTron.r6. Then I have a YouTube that is just InvisoTron. Then I also stream on Twitch at InvisoTron.
Very, very nice. Now I'm going to ask a couple questions to you in a second, but first we got to get to Kavari's comment. Cameo from Green Lantern, Darkseid, and Martian Manhunter. If these actually happen, I think this would be badass.
That would 100% make it better.
Absolutely. So Dan, I got a couple questions to ask you. I was going to ask you these questions before your mic crapped out. The first question is, did you see the theatrical cut of Justice League?
I did.
And what did you think of it?
It was not as bad as just like everybody said it was, but honestly, it was pretty bad. It was very bland. They didn't go into too much depth. Characters were all right, but the CGI was just god awful.
Yeah, that's actually very agreeable on that because it was just terrible. Now, if you guys hear me stumble a lot, I apologize. I was busy partying the last couple days because Ruby Rose is no longer Batwoman. But you know what?
Woohoo!
I know Dan's been celebrating. I mean, it was just it's been a pretty good 2 days in terms of news.
Yes, it has.
Kavari says, I really think Henry Cavill and Batfleck will return for reshoots. The question is, will they return? Here, Dan, you can go first because I've been talking for the most part.
So Henry Cavill and Batfleck both posted on their Instagrams today, releasing the Snyder cut, and they both had live interviews with Snyder.
Sounds exciting.
I hope that they do eventually return because, yeah, it's very interesting. And I have something I want to talk about after we finish up this Justice League conversation.
Oh, okay. What do you want to talk about after this?
Okay. So, it has to do the
Dan, I think your mic started cutting out again. Kabari says, as a diehard DC fan, Justice League was trash. I agree that it wasn't a good film. I don't think it's bad. I will say it's bad. I wouldn't say it's trash, but it's bad.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the low tier movies that they have ever made.
It's not as bad as Suicide Squad, I'll tell you that
much. Yeah. Suicide Squad is just like a different tier of bad.
It was. And EJ says, who would you guys choose to play Darkseid? Vin Diesel. Hey, Vin.
I could honestly see honestly, that's a hard one because like all the people that would play him are already taken. Like Josh Brolin. I could see him. Like if they somehow mangle a deal with him, I could see him going to DC since Thanos is done.
Yeah, I can see that as well. I mean, Vin Diesel would be kind of interesting because he does have the voice for it, and he does have the build, and he's kind of bald. So, hey, I could see it.
I mean, it's always, it doesn't really matter who it is because they could do something kind of like what they did with Josh, where like they put the cap over his face and pretty much only went over like his primarily like his actual facial features. Like they could pretty much get anybody that they want as long as they run with the voice.
I absolutely agree with that. And I do think that if Darkseid does make a cameo appearance, do you think a Justice League 2 would happen with the Injustice League?
Ron Perlman, that is a good one.
Oh, Ron Perlman? Yeah, absolutely. I could actually see that as well.
It was rumored that he was going to play Thanos like before Josh actually got the role.
Oh, I could see that as well, though. But but Josh Brolin did such a good job. Like, I don't know.
Oh, definitely. Like, personally, I don't see any other Marvel characters being recasted. Like, that's one thing that I love about Marvel is their casting is so amazing.
Oh, I know, because whenever they cast them, it's like they're identical to the comic book counterpart. Like Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark is perfect because Robert Downey Jr. is basically Tony Stark in real life.
Yeah.
And also Chris Evans looks like Captain America. So it's like, it's perfect.
Exactly.
And another thing about
the
Marvel
only person who I would change
is that they don't recast.
Well, except for War Machine, but that's a different.
Well, main character wise.
Story. Yeah. I would love to see a War Machine movie.
I would as well. I mean, come on, give Don Cheadle a movie, please. I'm still waiting for a Hulk movie, but we haven't gotten that yet.
Yeah, no. Instead, we get a Black Widow movie who's already dead.
Exactly. Dude, Marvel is going to fail this phase, dude. Like, it's not...
100%.
All right, you got Black Widow. No one's going to go see Black Widow. You got
Captain Marvel 2.
Which I already know Dan's not going to go see.
Nope.
They got Shang-Chi, which I don't think anybody cares about.
No.
Unless you're a hardcore comic book fan, then you might care, but at the same time, you're like, I don't know.
it doesn't look appealing. Like, I'm a hardcore comic book fan. Like, I've read that arc of comics, but it doesn't appeal to me because they're not going in the direction of the comics. They're pretty much like cramming the whole arc into one movie.
Yeah. I think DC is going to take the win this time around. I think DC just has a way more interesting selection of movies coming out, and especially with Snyder Cut coming out, I feel like Marvel's kind of in trouble.
Yeah. Like, Marvel's got Captain Marvel, you got Black Widow, you got Shang-Chi, you've got Black Panther 2, which, don't get me wrong, Black Panther was a great movie, but it pushed an agenda that wasn't needed.
No.
The whole black people rule. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for, like, people having messages in the movie, but they pushed it just way too much.
Kind of like Batwoman.
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah, I liked Black Panther, but I feel like Black Panther was a tad bit overrated in a sense.
Oh, 100%.
It's don't get me wrong, it's a great movie, but I think that it is a overrated film.
So, you know when Killmonger punches Claw, like at the airport, or
Yeah.
not the airport, at like the scrapyard thing? When I saw the movie, I saw it down at Colony Center. Every black person in there cheered. And I'm not kidding. And then one person yelled, "Give the whites what they deserve."
Yeah, that's a great message to show everybody.
Yeah, you know, because it wasn't like there was kids in there.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel movies are apparently made for kids, so, you know, it's ridiculous. Oh, I also want to ask you, what do you think about the Eternals?
Oh my god. Are they, like, is it confirmed, or just Marvel confirmed, and then they're going to push it another time?
I think it's confirmed.
I don't know. I think it might be a hit and miss.
Yeah.
Because, like, great concept, but how they're going to go about it, I feel like, is going to be wrong. Because they've delayed it, what, 3 years?
I would say about.
And they're probably not going to have what everybody wants, which, I mean, you can never always please everybody. But, like, the amount of things that they're probably either going to mess up, or, like, attempt to add, because Marvel's in that weird stage where everything's got to be about women power for some reason.
Which it doesn't have to be.
No, make it a Marvel movie. Oh, and making people gay or transgender, because it's a big thing in the Marvel community right now. They're trying to push.
Yeah. EJ, we can't get a Hulk movie because Disney won't let Universal distribute the movie. Yeah, I feel like Universal just needs to let Marvel do it, honestly, if I'm gonna be completely honest, because everybody in the Avengers is gonna have a singles movie or a show. You have Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, now Black Widow, Hawkeye's getting his own show.
With
Hulk,
Bucky.
oh yeah, Bucky and Winter Soldier. You got WandaVision. The only Hulk show that's been confirmed is She-Hulk, and honestly, I feel like that a Hulk movie now would be cool, especially if you're gonna do like Hulk is like Professor Hulk. That would be cool.
You know what I would love to see? The 5 years of Hulk's transformation, like what was going on in his mind at the end of Infinity War and the beginning of Endgame. Because, like, he got the crap beat out of him, and, like, he blamed himself the whole entire movie. that's why I'm so glad that they did the thing in Endgame where he was the one who did the first snap. Like it kind of added everything up. Like that was kind of his like comeback moment, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I absolutely. Yeah, if we got that movie, that'd be awesome. And then maybe do like the villain that was teased in the Incredible Hulk, the Thinker.
Yeah.
Or no, not the Thinker. Crap. What was his name again with the big head?
Oh, oh my God. I'm literally picturing him, and he was in oh my God, what story arc was that with Red Hulk, Deadpool, oh my God.
You know what, guys? We'll come back to it.
I'm
EJ
completely drawing a
says
blank.
Spider-Verse was the best comic book movie of 2018. It should have been the one to be nominated for Best Picture. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think that it was a fantastic movie. It was either that or Infinity War, but I feel like Spider-Verse won it in terms of like just the best movie.
Yeah. I loved how open they made everything, because now like different multiverses are actually in Marvel. Like that confirmed it. Like Endgame uh, added on it as well when Hulk was talking to the Ancient One in New York, like during the final fight, like from the original Avengers. Like they hinted on that, like how she was like, it'll destroy all the different universes, yada yada yada. But it'll be interesting to see where they go with the animated scene, because DC has had Marvel beaten 100% with their animated scene.
Oh, absolutely. Their recent animated movie, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, which is fantastic, by the way.
So amazing.
It is, and I'm saying that Spider-Verse is probably the step in the right direction, but I think DC right now is still in the lead in terms of animated stuff.
Oh, 100%. I personally, for me, I don't think any animated movie is going to beat Under the Red Hood.
Oh no, I think Under the Red Hood's the best, one of the best DC animated movies of all time, if not the best.
Yeah.
You also got Dark Knight Returns. You have
Yep, I loved that one. You've got Return of the Sun. I think that was the name. I could be wrong, but where Damian Wayne came back, like that story arc, that was
Son of Batman.
Yeah,
that was also very good. You got Superman Doomsday. That was actually my first DC animated movie. It's still very
that
good.
was also amazing. Like I personally, for me, I don't know any DC movie, like animated movie, that I don't like.
Killing Joke. That's my least favorite DC animated movie.
Really?
Yeah, I did not like Killing Joke.
I loved Killing Joke. It's probably, it's not in like my top 5 or anything, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of the one that I least enjoyed.
Well, actually, let me rephrase what I said. I didn't like the first half of the Killing Joke. Like once they actually started adapting the Killing Joke itself, it was very good. But the first half where Batman slept with Batgirl and then all that stuff, that was stupid.
Yeah, I agree. That was definitely unneeded, but I feel like they just added it just to get some little spice in there.
Yeah. Tension, aka our friend Will, how do you feel about the cast of Justice League? The cast, most of it is is very good. Like, I love Ben Affleck's Batman. I think he's underrated. Henry Cavill is very good as Superman. Jason Momoa is awesome as Aquaman. Gal Gadot is great as Wonder Woman. I would say Ray Fisher as Cyborg's okay. Like, I think if we get a movie about Cyborg, I would be more a fan of it. But then you have Ezra Miller as the Flash, who just sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't know why they even Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Mask of the Phantasm is very, very good. I own the movie on Blu-ray with the Batman animated series collection that I got, and Mask of the Phantasm is amazing.
I still have it on VHS. I also have it on DVD, but I still have it on VHS.
Oh, it's so good. And I still think it ages well today. Like, the animation is just, it's better than the animation that we get now.
Like, I love the animated Batman, like, series of it, because it was so good. Like, for the show being in the 90s and for it being an animated show where, like, animation was, like, just starting to, like, really get big. Like, there was obviously other animations before that and stuff, but that's what really started, like, the superhero version of the animations.
Yeah, I have both the animated series and Batman Beyond on Blu-ray, and like I said, they're so good, and I recommend it to anybody who's never watched a animated DC show, because those are the shows to start off with. EJ says my favorite comic book movie of all time is Logan, hands down, no questions asked. Logan is a very, very good movie. I really like it. My favorite superhero film, I'm probably gonna have to go with either Spider-Man 2 or Days of Future Past. Dan, what do you think? What is your favorite comic book movie?
Me?
Yeah.
Huh. I like live action movie or animated?
I feel like it's live action, I think.
Okay. Ooh. Honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with EJ on this one. I loved Logan. I loved how, like, they finally gave Logan, like, that spice, that Shazam that he needed. Because don't get me wrong, all the other X-Men movies, they were pretty good. Like, they developed Wolverine's style, but Logan just tied everything together, and they finally, like, let Wolverine be Wolverine. Like, there was the rage, like the true rage and aggression that the Wolverine has.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I love Logan, man. It's a great movie. I still consider it one of my favorites. But like I said, nothing can really yeah, I could say it would be more. I think it would be on my top 10 list, because I have like a lot of movies that I really like in terms of superhero films. Ben Affleck won't come back. Well, he might, depending on if the Snyder cut is successful, which I doubt it won't, but it definitely, I do think that it could be possible. I'm not, you can't really say never, because the Snyder got confirmed. So, you know, it's possible. Oh, those are great choices too. I love both of those. Thank you, EJ. You know, I respect your opinion on the Logan thing, because I really love Logan as well. Monster Paradise, Infinity War, or Logan. Yeah, again, both these choices are fantastic. I love Infinity War as well. I own both Infinity War and Endgame, so it definitely I'm definitely excited for it. Monster Paradise, the Snyder Cut proves the DCEU is a sloppy mess. Yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, it does because the DCEU before this, was just bad. There's nothing wrong. It was just they did a lot of things wrong, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, like so far the only like good movie that DC has, in my opinion, is like through the DCEU is Man of Steel.
Really, just Man of Steel?
Like, is somebody vacuuming in your background, Austin?
No.
It sounded like somebody was vacuuming.
No, no one was vacuuming. But to go back to your thing, I liked Man of Steel. The BVS extended cut is really good. I said extended cut. I didn't say the theatrical cut because the theatrical cut is a mess. It's not as good. Suicide Squad is a terrible movie. I didn't like Justice League. Aquaman is a very good world building movie. I enjoyed Wonder Woman. Shazam, I think, is good as well. I wasn't a big fan of Birds of Prey.
Did you just say you're a big fan of Birds of Prey?
No, I said I wasn't a big fan of Birds of Prey.
Oh, okay. Whew. I'm like, Austin, I might have to go, man.
No, I didn't. I think Birds of Prey. It messed up the characters. I didn't like any of the characters in that film.
They had Cassandra Cain as a 9-year-old little Mexican girl.
Oh man,
like, I don't get it. It made no sense. It didn't add to anything. Like, there was no reason for it. They literally just wanted to get a colored person. That's one thing that I hate about both Marvel and DC is they try to push agendas like the racial agenda, the gender agenda, the sexuality agenda. Like, they try to push it when it's not needed. Like, Cassandra Cain was never a 9-year-old little fat Mexican girl.
Yeah, no, she was never one at all. I just think Birds of Prey messed up every character in that film. It made me feel empty. It wasn't even a Birds of Prey movie.
No, it wasn't. And you know what really, like, shocks me is how they got away with. You know the scene where Margaret, or I'm just gonna say Harley Quinn because I always mess up her first name. But how she's walking down the hallway in the, I believe it was a jail. I didn't see the movie, and I won't see the movie. But where she goes, here, Piggy, Piggy, when she's going after the cop.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they got away with that.
I don't know. That it was just bad.
Imagine if it was a guy. Imagine if it was a white male.
Oh, that would be.
Hate?
Yeah, it would. But again, I absolutely agree. If it was someone like us, we would be like, we would be put on a cross, pretty much.
Yeah.
We actually got a lot of
for
chats.
Some reason. Oh, go ahead.
We have a lot of chats coming in. I want to answer these. Well, we'll go back to your thing. Will says, I think Spider-Man 3 is my favorite movie. Will, I mean, if it's your favorite movie, which I think you're joking, because I do not.
He's just trying to spark a conversation.
Listen, Will.
Because he's lonely.
Listen, I already did I did a live discussion on this. It was like my first live discussion on my channel. I talked about Spider-Man 3 with Ninjoid, so I mean, I really don't want to talk about it again. All I have to say is Spider-Man 3 is easily the worst Spider-Man movie in my opinion. I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a lot better, in my opinion anyway. So I'm just going to leave it at that. EJ says V for Vendetta is another great one too. Oh my gosh, it's scary how much this movie just speaks to the issues in our world today. V for Vendetta is a fantastic movie. It was very, very good.
Yeah, I loved it.
So good. People shouldn't be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people. Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gun. And the gunpowder treason should never be forgotten. Yep, that's absolutely, yeah, I agree. EJ says, a movie that made no sense is The Rise of Skywalker. Oh my gosh, that was such an unmitigated disaster.
Oh my god, don't even get me started on the freaking
Now, Dan, you saw
like
Rise of
that.
Skywalker, right?
Yes, I saw all of them, unfortunately.
Now, when you first saw the movie, you said you enjoyed it. What is your opinions now?
So, when I first saw it, I enjoyed the action in it, and I liked how Kylo Ren got like redeemed at the end, because in the comics he's good, then bad, then good again, which it goes with the Anakin Skywalker. He's good, bad, and then good. He fulfills the bring balance to the Force when he dies. Like when the final scene when he supposedly kills the Emperor, and then when like he's talking to Anakin, and then or when he's talking to Luke, and then like everything just kind of meshes together. Like everything just added up and made everything kind of full circle. Because at the beginning, Anakin was the chosen one. Like he will bring balance. It added to that, and I think that's where they kind of went with Kylo Ren, because that's what he was in the comic. He was pretty much an Anakin Skywalker 2.0 to a certain degree.
Yeah. I think Kylo Ren was the best thing of the entire trilogy, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%.
Oh man. So so I take it you do not like the movie now then.
No.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy the movie at all.
Like I said when I originally saw it. Yeah, what I said when I originally saw it is I liked it to a certain degree, because like it had parts that were good. Like I talked about the Kylo Ren kind of arc where they added everything together, but just Rey's character just aggravates me.
Yeah, so the ending is so bad. Like so Rey, so like the person comes in, is like, "Who are you?" And then she goes, "Rey," and then like she looks over and it's like Luke and Leia. And she's like, "Skywalker." I'm like, I nearly face palmed at that. I'm like, what?
Yeah, pretty much. So, Monster Paradise.
Do you think the new Avengers pretty much is what he's saying? Do you think the new Avengers will be bigger than Endgame? Oh wait, if he's saying like like Avengers 7, like as in like the next few movies down the line, I feel like depending on what they do, it might be like if they do Galactus or like they do Secret Wars, I think that would be awesome and it might be bigger. But at the same time, I don't know how they can really do that. How they can really equal the epicness that was Endgame, unless they have a big, very, very huge crossover and they do like Secret War or Galactus.
Yeah, I totally agree. But the only thing that would be difficult with Galactus is when they faced Galactus, they had Captain America and they had Iron Man, because Iron Man used the Asgardian suit. But now they don't have either one of those characters. But both of them are in rumors of talking to their agents about rejoining Marvel,
Oh,
renewing their contracts. But
this
I
might be
don't think,
interesting.
I don't think that they can top Endgame, only because it was literally 10 years. 10 years in the making.
It was.
Phase 1, adding everything up.
Monster Paradise comes in with laughing emojis, tension. Yeah, cause Will, that statement that you stated was BS, buddy. That was BS. And then Rey Palpatine made no sense. Rey and Kylo Ren kissing just pissed me off. Leia should have been the one to show up to redeem Kylo Ren, not Han Solo. The final battle makes no sense. Now, I'm going to continue going down. Also, by not explaining on how Palpatine came back, that sacrifice that Anakin made in Return of the Jedi was all for bullshit. It's meaningless now. Thanks a lot, Episode 9. Yeah.
So I have something that I just want to add real quick.
Go ahead.
I agree with those first two comments, how the whole Rey Palpatine thing, that made no sense. Rey and Kylo Ren kissing, totally agree on that. That was unnecessary and it was stupid. It never should have been a thing. But I feel like I understand that Leia's character is now the I want to say up on a pedestal now due to her passing, but having Han Solo show up just made more sense, only because he killed Kylo killed Han, but then he in the next two movies was having constant regret. He was seeing him, he was thinking about it, it was just always in his head. And that's what made him kind of toss and turn, thinking about everything.
Yeah, honestly, it was my favorite scene of the movie, to be quite honest.
And then the final battle makes no sense. I definitely agree. It just it wasn't needed.
No, it wasn't. Monster says, I heard rumors that Jason Statham might be the new Drakseid in the MCU.
No, he's talking about Daredevil.
Oh, I heard rumors Jason Statham might be the new Daredevil in the MCU. That might be cool.
I heard that Charlie Cox was coming over, because now that Fox and Marvel have their thing, I heard that they're going to be implementing their Netflix characters because Netflix got canceled. That's why they canceled it.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to see Charlie Cox in the new Spider-Man movie as Spider-Man's lawyer. That would be awesome.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Do you want to hear a controversial thing that I'm going to say here?
All right, let's hear it.
I think Homecoming and Far From Home are a tad bit overrated.
I don't know. I loved them. I love the comic book style that they went with Spider-Man. I wish it was just a tad more serious. But if you read comics, Spider-Man is never serious. He's basically like a friendly neighborhood Deadpool. He's always cracking jokes in the fight. He's always just being the funny guy of the block, I guess you could say. I agree that they're a tad bit overrated, but I still personally loved them. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy them,
they
but I do
did
think that they're not as good as the Raimi films.
Yeah. I
And
think it got the ratings it got was because it was better than the other two Spider-Mans, and that was the first time that the Spider-Man character got justice.
yeah, but here's the thing though, I actually enjoyed The Amazing Spider-Man though.
I did too, but he was like a whiny brat. Like,
Oh no,
Andrew
he
Garfield was
was.
pretty much like whiny during the whole entire thing. And that's not Spider-Man.
No. But I think that the Amazing Spider-Man films got too much hate because it wasn't the Sam Raimi films. EJ comes in. The way she is fighting Kylo Ren was more Sith-like than Kylo. I mean, she just kept on grunting so much and attacking aggressively in full range.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I just hated how they just made Rey's character.
Yeah, Rey's a character is
Like,
bad.
They built her up in the other two movies that she was going to be a Skywalker. And then they drop that stupid, unnecessary bombshell. Oh, she's a Palpatine.
Oh, I think Monster's attacking you here, Dan. You don't need Iron Man and Captain America to take on Galactus. Have you read the comics?
I have read the comics, and I'm not saying that you need them. Like, 100%, there are other characters. Now, don't get me wrong. I hate Captain Marvel, but she is big. They've had little teases of Silver Surfer. We've already seen Silver Surfer in Fox movies. I didn't like the comic. Like, I don't know how I want to say this. Like, they don't need Iron Man and Captain America. Back to what I said. They have the other characters. They have Thor. They have Valkyrie. Like, they have big characters. They've implemented Adam Warlock a little bit in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's rumored that Nova's going to be coming out. But they're just two crucial characters in the thing. Like, if you've read the comics, like, Iron Man's suit with the Asgardian suit was amazing. But
Yeah,
you're right that they have other characters, but I don't know. It'll feel weird watching that fight when in the comics both of them was there.
yeah, I absolutely agree with that. EJ says Spider-Man: Homecoming was actually horrible in my opinion. Ned Leeds is the most annoying character since Jar Jar Binks. They turned Spider-Man into Iron Man Jr. and him having an AI suit was just stupid. He then follows it up with Liz Allen was bad too, and she had zero chemistry with Peter Parker. And then he also says Vulture was the only good thing about Homecoming.
I agree to a certain extent. I respect how, like, you went into depth about it, but I wish Homecoming was like the second Spider-Man. I wish that they made a first one where it was just Spider-Man, like him starting out, him like just getting, like, say, Harry Osborn or Norman Osborn, like him fighting him like they did in the first one. Like, he's just starting out, he has like a smaller villain, but like at the beginning it seems smaller, but then it's like a large villain. Or if he fought Harry more, like, I wish that they went more into depth with it. I loved the film, and I liked how they made it in terms of, like, connecting it to the Marvel standpoint where they were already because of Civil War. But I wish that Homecoming was the second Spider-Man movie. Like, if they already had a first one where it was just him and it was him building up and he had just the plain suit, like, I would have loved it. It would have made so much more sense. But That is my opinion on that one. What is your opinion, Austin?
So I do agree with EJ again, like you said, to a certain degree. I agree that they should have done that Homecoming should have been a second film. But I mean, Spider-Man having an AI suit is fine because he did get it in Civil War, so it does kind of make sense to keep it there. But and also Spider-Man, with Spider-Man having an AI suit, I mean, he has one basically in the comics and in the video games, so it does kind of work. But at the same time, he is in high school, so no, he shouldn't really have it. Also, I agree to a certain degree that Ned is a very annoying character because he is. I won't deny that he is a annoying character because he is. And to a certain degree, I don't think he's as bad as Jar Jar Binks because I don't like Jar Jar at all. But Ned was just it was bad. As far as the Iron Man Jr. thing, I kind of agree with you on that. I do feel like that it's not really Spider-Man at all for him to be Tony Stark Jr., but at the same time, it does kind of. I guess it made sense for the story they were trying to tell to an extent, but I do agree that I don't think him being Iron Man Jr. worked. Also, the Liz Allen thing, I get what they were trying to do when they were trying to put Peter Parker with Liz because that was his first love interest in the comics besides Betty Brant. But again, I do agree that I felt the chemistry was off and it didn't really work. And I will agree that Vulture was the best thing about Homecoming. EJ says, I loved Captain Marvel, actually. She is awesome.
Wait. I love Captain Marvel in the comics. Are you talking about, like, the person who plays her or the movie?
Because I like her in the comics as well. I didn't enjoy the movie, though.
No, neither did I. Again, it was pushing back to that thing that I said earlier about Marvel trying to push an agenda that women's power. Same with Endgame. Oh my God, did I want to scream and throw something at the screen when, freaking, like, all the ladies, they stop fighting. Like, I want to know. I wish there was an overview of how many people died because they stopped fighting and went after them. Like, the only good part about that was seeing Scarlet Witch have that power, like when she was fighting Thanos.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch was the best thing about. Oh God. Woo, that's man. Oh. Well, EJ says Far From Home was an improvement, but only by a little bit. The second and third act were fantastic, but the first act was awful. Yeah, that actually, EJ, I will agree that the first act was bad because I went to go see the movie with my grandfather, and we were both like, when the first act was going, I'm like, all right, come on, let's go. Like, hurry up, please. Like, I'm just like, oh God, no. EJ says the high school humor just turned me off completely. I was like, oh gosh, not again. But thankfully, as soon as Mysterio showed up as the real villain, I was like, all right, now we're talking. Yeah, that was kind of me as well. The person who plays her in the movies, like Captain Marvel, was fantastic. Oh, oh boy, Dan's about to blow up here, probably.
All right, so don't get me wrong. I respect everybody's opinion about Marvel movies because obviously everybody thinks about it different. But I hate Brie Larson. Like, just having her character, honestly, if Brie Larson wasn't the way that she is, it wouldn't have been a bad movie. But I guess just my hatred for the actual actress just turned it off. Like, she's a feminazi, and you cannot change my mind about that one. The fact that she made a comment how all old white men are the only thing that get anything done in the country. If somebody else said that, that wasn't in this little feminazi movement that they're trying to like get. It's just no. I'm reading a comment and I saw it just come through. Take that back right now. I'm gonna cry.
Wait,
Brie
what
Larson
comment was it?
horrible. He
Brie
said Brie
Larson
Larson was absolutely brilliant as Carol Danvers. No. He is doing this on purpose, Austin.
All right, hold on. He's like, oh, Brie Larson is a fantastic actress and a great, humble human being.
Look up. Okay. The fact that Don Cheadle, a man who has no hatred towards anybody, cannot stand like being anywhere near her is impeccable. Like, how horrible do you have to be to have Don Cheadle not want to have any sort of interview with her? Like, nothing. Look up Brie Larson controversial moments on YouTube. You will find so many. It is insane.
All right, EJ says, okay, I am not hearing this. Brie Larson doesn't deserve the hatred. I think she was. Who? Wait, were you trying? I'm a little. Was he saying woo? I think that's what he said.
Yeah, I think he's saying woo.
Oh, let's go. Brie Larson was badass in Endgame. I would love to meet her in person. Well, I think Dan wants to meet her in person.
Bad things would happen if I met Brie Larson in person.
EJ says, I can do this all day. Yeah. EJ, I apologize. We missed a couple of your comments here. Oh, I don't give a shit about controversial moments. I just want to see Brie in the movies. Hey, man, look, that's your opinion, man. I'm not saying you don't have to like Brie Larson, because you can like Brie Larson. I mean,
I am. You can't like her anymore.
No, Dan, come on, man. I don't want to start a war here. All right, I'm just gonna appease everybody.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
like, I don't care if you like her. So can you give me a reason, like, why you like her as an actual actress? Because
okay, see, that's fair.
Like,
if you give him a reason, then he'll probably back off.
Because the reason that I say is that she, like, nobody wants to be around her. She has such a toxic like personality that nobody wants to even like be in an interview with her. Like, if you watch an interview when Brie Larson was with Don Cheadle, like, everything that she says is just pushing the feminazi agenda. Like, everything. Like, they're asking a normal question and she's like, well, actually, a woman would do it this way. Like, they were talking to Don Cheadle about how his War Machine character developed over the course of the movies, and he started talking, and she interrupted him and said, well, my character actually developed this way because she had the power of being a woman. Completely disagree. About what? Like, not liking Brie Larson? Or because what I'm saying is just like what other people have said. Don Cheadle has come out and said that he does not want to be in any more interviews with her. Like, he personally came out and said, I don't like being near her. Like, her environment that she projects is just toxic.
EJ says, Brie Larson for the win, motherfuckers. She is so talented, and her movie room was absolutely brilliant. I completely disagree, Dan. I am sorry, but you're wrong, bro. I don't see that at all. That is completely false. I like how you're being so persistent. Hey, I'm not saying anything here. This is Dan's thing, EJ. I'm just sitting back listening to this.
So, can you give me proof of 2 good things that she has done? Like, not Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. Like, proof of 2 good things. Because I've given you proof of, like, 5 bad things that she's done. I just need proof of 2 good things.
All right. Before we get to that, EJ, I know you had other comments up here as well, which I'm gonna get to now. I apologize while you and Dan were having your little civil war. Oh, that scene where the A-Force showed up was so badass. I loved it. Come at me, LOL, with the emoji, and I want an A-Force movie. I'm not saying I'm not down for an A-Force movie, because I actually would love to see an A-Force movie. Would you agree, Dan?
Right now, no. Like, okay, so hear me out. Marvel 4 years ago, I would have loved to see it. But now, because they have Brie Larson, and oh my god, don't even get me started on Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, and the
Like,
goop.
the freaking goop. Like, even oh my god, why am I drawing a blank? Who plays Scarlet Witch?
Elizabeth Olsen, I think.
Yeah. She has even said that she does not like how Brie Larson is trying to push her agenda. Like, they don't like each other.
Hey, I like Elizabeth Olsen, so.
I do too, but like, I thought that was an amazing casting. And don't get me wrong, the look of Brie Larson, to Captain Marvel is amazing. Like, they got the casting look spot on, but the actual casting of her, like her personality, just doesn't fit.
Yeah, I could sort of agree with that. To tell you the truth, I did not enjoy the movie itself. It's not the worst MCU movie. I still think like movies like Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2, I still think Ant-Man the Wasp, I still think they're way worse movies. But Thor: The Dark World Captain Marvel, it feels like a Phase 1 movie. Like if Captain Marvel came out, like if this came out instead of Black Widow and Black Widow came out before Endgame, I think I would have given Captain Marvel more of a chance.
The only good thing about Captain Marvel was the scroll. Like, how they implemented that.
Yeah. So let's get to another topic before this becomes a full-on Brie Larson trash fest. Let's talk about Batwoman, shall we? Since we love attacking, since we love going after people, let's just talk about a little bit about Batwoman. Now, Dan, I know you have a lot to say about this, so why don't you go first?
All right. I could not be more happy. You do not understand my hip hip hurrah when I'm scrolling through Facebook and I get a notification saying Ruby Rose cancels her role as Batwoman. I was so happy because I hated it. It was another one of those things that pushed the agenda. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that there should be like women should be equal, but I don't like the feminazi agenda that women should be better. Like, nobody should be better. Everybody should just be equal. Like, I'm gonna draw a blank here. It's Caitlin. Who plays Black Canary?
Katie
right?
Watts.
Yeah. She started She-Authority, and I'm fine with that because that's just getting like for other, like, their whole background is basically, like, women should feel equal to men and not feel either superior or inferior. They want everybody to be equal, and they started a thing for girls, like girls in like rough areas and their brothers and stuff. They started like not really a GoFundMe, but kind of like a fundraiser type thing where they give money to them, and that's fine because they like I'm all for that because they're helping out people and they're not excluding people. But now, say what Brie Larson is trying to do is women, women, women. They need to be better. Now, if a man came out and said, "I'm gonna start a men's only club, and I am going to give money to only guys. No girls are allowed. No females. No nothing. It's only guys." They would get so much hate. But when Brie Larson does it, she gets the backing of a whole entire community.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The comment about it would look better on a woman. Oh my God. Shut up. Like, seriously. I like the Batman suit, but it would look better on a woman. Like, shut up. No.
Oh,
The only reason why you exist is because of Batman. So don't even try it, woman.
oh, I
Did you
know.
see that they're trying to get the lady from Brooklyn 99 to be Batwoman?
No, I didn't know about that.
I don't want to close out the app on my phone because then like it's not like actual Discord where we can continue to talk.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to look it up. But I'm drawing a blank on her name. But they're trying to get her as the role. And she's a little bit darker skinned, but I like her character. It would be complete polar opposite of her character on Brooklyn 99. But she's a great actress, and I think she can pull it off. And she's not the one that pushes the certain agenda about it. And don't even get me wrong, it's not just about like the whole it'd look better on a woman thing. I just thought that the show was boring. It wasn't good. It didn't like implement very much. Like, it was so boring.
Yeah, it was.
I can't even talk to them over there. I can't get to my music.
It's. I still think Ruby Rose is just a bad actress.
Yeah, she is not good at all.
Like, the only good thing she was in was like John Wick, and she didn't even talk in that movie.
The only good thing she was in was what?
John Wick, and she didn't even talk in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, she did kind of look like what I would picture Kate Kane to look like, but at the same time, her acting was just not good.
Yeah.
Like, I would have given the show a chance because I like Batman. Like, Batwoman's cool in the comics. I'm like, you know what? I'll give her a chance. But you know what? The show is bad.
In my opinion, Batman and the whole Bat family is my all-time favorite, like, comic book arc and animated movie arc. Like, just how in-depth the comic goes with not only just Batman himself, but then you have branches that go off like Teen Titans being ran by Robin, and then later Nightwing, and then later Tim Drake, and then you have the whole death of Tim Drake thing, which he didn't actually die. He got teleported away by Superman's dad when he was in a prison. Have you read that story arc?
Yes. I have, I think. Because doesn't he become Batman Beyond in, like, the Batman Beyond comics?
Tim Drake?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. And then Terry McGinnis becomes Batman Beyond.
Man, I love Batman Beyond.
So did I. I wish that the animated show went on for longer.
Yeah.
Like, I love the Terry McGinnis arc. I love how he kind of had the same beginning like Batman. And that's also what I loved about Dick Grayson. Is because Batman didn't take pity on them. He just knew that they should have it better.
Yeah.
But he didn't take pity. And that's what I'll always love about Batman. Like, not once did he take pity on any of the Robins or anything. Like,
No.
Jason Todd, when he met him trying to steal a wheel off the Batmobile. Like, his punishment was that he would do work at Wayne Manor. And then all of a sudden, he started showing promise.
Yeah. I absolutely, like, I think that's what kind of makes Batman a great character, because while he doesn't pity anybody, he does, agree that, he does have that feeling of he should let, people should have it better than him, because he wants them to be better than what he is.
Exactly. And he always goes with that motto. Like, because he knows that they can all be better than him. And that's what he tries to push them to be. That's why he pushes them so hard.
I mean, he doesn't do it out of hatred or pittiness. He just does it because he actually does care about them.
Exactly.
I mean, sure, he has a weird way of showing it, but he does care about them.
Yeah, 100%. It is it's an acquired taste, I guess you could call it, on how he interacts with them.
Because he and Dick, well, they don't really get along. Well, I wouldn't say they don't get along. I just think their relationship is more like it's more strained. He and Jason are probably more on the outs than any of them. I feel like he's more close with Tim Drake, because Tim is basically more like Bruce in a sense of he's more like, I think he has more to, I guess, I say he has more in common with Tim. And then with Damian, it's more like he cares about him, but at the same time, he's kind of iffy on.
Yeah.
And the only person he truly, like, he actually shows affection towards is, like, Alfred.
Yeah.
Like, he tells Alfred everything, but then when it comes to everybody else, he's like, all right, I'll tell you what, it's a need-to-know basis.
Until Robin, like, until Dick Grayson was Nightwing, then he stopped seeing him as like an apprentice. He saw him more as a partner eventually. Like, there was a few years where, like, they didn't talk because he was in Bloodhaven, but like, there was definitely some changes on how it was, like, perceived and treated, I guess you could call it.
Now, I'm going to ask you a trick question.
Okay, I love trick questions.
All right. Do you think that Under the Red Hood could be canon to the animated series?
Like, what do you mean? Do I think that, like, right now, or are you asking me, like, do I wish?
All right. Do you think that it could be like? Because I feel like it could, just because of the small like hints in the new animated series. Because in like the first like when they show Tim Drake there, the Robin costume is all red, and Jason Todd in Under the Red Hood when he was Robin wore an all red costume. But when Dick Grayson was Robin, he wore green. So it doesn't make any real sense as to why Bruce would change the costume all of a sudden. Also,
Well,
you know, he does also he also doesn't want Tim to be another Robin, so he kind of just it would make sort of sense.
do you know why they changed the suit?
Why?
Because Jason Todd wanted him to. Like,
Oh.
that's why he changed the suit.
Yeah. But I could see Under the Red Hood maybe being canon. Not necessarily saying like canon, but I mean more like it would kind of make sense as to what was happening in between everything.
Yeah.
But we just hit the hour and 20 mark. There's I feel like I'm gonna end it here, so because we have no one really watching, so it's probably best if we just end it here.
That's good to me.
I would like to thank you, Dan, for coming on. Again, you guys can find him on Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You guys can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and now Facebook. Subscribe to both InvisoTron and my channel. Hit the like button. Leave a comment if you're watching after the fact. And as always, it's the Austinator signing out.